Okay, everyone. So I'm going to show you today a practical scenario where you might have a CSRF attack, cross-site request forgery, and how to protect and defend against these kind of attacks. By the way, CSRF attack is considered one of the OWASP top 10 attacks. And basically, in a nutshell, CSRF is where you are logged in to a website. Okay, let's say we are logged into this site over here. Okay, and someone like an attacker wants to change our password or steal our password. He can do this actually by making another website, which is, malicious website, and then he's going to embed the request of changing the password in that external website. So once you visit the attacker's website or attacker's web page, the embedded request of changing your password will be executed in this tab over here. So suppose you are on this tab, suppose this is like a malicious site. So suppose that this is a malicious site, although it's not, and the attacker has embedded some code, okay, to change your password on this side. So once you open this site or the attacker's site, or once you visit this site, okay, the embedded request will be executed here, and he will be able to change your password. That's how a CSRF attack works. So today I'm going to show you how this kind of attacks works for, manipulating and changing poll results, and how we can protect and defend these kind of attacks practically. Okay, so suppose that I have a poll over here, and I wanna, let's say, vote for candidates through this poll. I can click here, okay, and then in order to vote, I need to be logged in. So I'm gonna type the login username and password for my account in order to vote for my potential candidates. I can go to the poll over here, and over here I can vote for my potential candidates. All right. Okay. So suppose that we got one of these candidates. Okay, is someone who is maliciously want to change the poll results. So what can he do is set up his own site. Let's say that Winston Firewater is about to set up his own site, okay, and he's going to embed a small code or a small form so that whenever a voter visits his own site or Winston Firewater's site, the site will be or will execute the vote function on behalf of the user. Okay, so that's how CSRF works in this case. So if I, for example, over here, if I want to do the CSRF attack, okay, all I need to do is I need to know how the request is sent to the server when I click on vote. Okay, so I need to click on inspect, and I need to click on network, and from here let's click on vote for Winston and click on vote. Okay, so as you can see here, the request that is sent to the server when you click on vote is page equal vote and vote equal 5. So what is 5? Actually, if we visit the page of Winston Firewater, click on view profile, we can see from the browser link that the ID is 5. Okay. So it works. So all the attacker needs to do is click on vote, go to network, vote. He's going to take this URL and embed this URL in a malicious web page and let visitors visit this page. So this request will be executed on their behalf and let them vote for Winston Firewater, although they would not vote for him. So another way this attack works is if we click on view profile and we see here we can let visitors submit comments on their behalf using CSRF attacks. So this is how it works in a nutshell. So how can we protect this site from CSRF attacks and thus maintain the integrity of the poll or the poll results? Okay, so let's go over here to the code. Okay, and we need to protect two things on this side. We need to protect the comments and we need to protect the poll or the vote function. So let's go over here. We have to, in order to protect from CSRF attacks, we have too many options. One of them is using CSRF tokens, and the other ones, one of them is using double submit cookies. Okay, so we're gonna try first and protect from CSRF attacks using anti-CSRF tokens. We need to insert anti-CSRF tokens in every form in the targeted website that needs to be protected. In our case, if you click on views and I click on profile, so this is a profile page, back end, okay, and there's a form over here. This form is taking performing post requests, okay, and it's doing the comment. No, sorry, not the comment. It's doing the vote. So it's whenever someone click on vote, the vote is being sent here, or rating, let's say. So you can see here there are ratings. I can rate. So in order to protect the form or the ratings from being manipulated by an external CSRF attack, I need to add token over here. Okay, and this token needs to be generated every time the user logs in. So I need also to implement the token in the login function of the website. So whenever the user logs into the site, there will be a token generated every time he logs in, and this token will be added to every form he submits. So in our case right now, we're talking about the forms in the profile web page. We're going to protect the ratings and the comment function. So let's add the CSRF token. Okay, let's copy this. It's going to generate the token, cryptographic token. We're going to generate this at the login. So we're going to go to functions, users, and here we have the login function. We're going to paste this over here. This will generate token, okay, cryptographically strong token that will be generated every time the user logs in, okay, and this token is randomly generated every time. And also we need, so we say to add this token to the form that we're trying to protect. So go to profile, and here in the form I'm gonna take the hidden field, which is the token, and I'm gonna add it. So this is CSRF token. Actually, you can find these values in the OWASP top 10 website, how to protect your website from CSRF attacks. Okay, so now I have the CSRF token in the form that I am trying to protect, and I have this token inserted in the login function. So now I can say that the form is protected from being manipulated or being submitted on user's behalf by an external unintended request. Now, last thing I need to do is to insert or to make some kind of validation mechanism. This validation mechanism will ensure that whenever a user submits submits the form or submits ratings, comments, his request will be compared to the CSRF token. Okay, so here I have the CSRF token. This token will be compared to the token that is generated in the login. So to make sure that the token are equal to each other and no CSRF attack is being or it was taking place. Of course, the attacker will not be able to know the value of the CSRF token. This is how the defense works actually. Okay, so I need to go back to user, and I need to search for the function that is serving the post requests. So here, when I submit comment or ratings, I am doing post request. I need to search for this function that is taking the post request and at the same time handles the profile view. So here the register function, I have nothing to do with that. I have here display profile, which is the function I need to protect as well, or I need to insert the validation mechanism in it. So I can see here the post request here, okay, and this post request is taking the comment and the rating. So here I need to insert the validation mechanism and make sure that the CSRF tokens are equal to each other, the one that is generated in the login and the one that is in the form. So I can take this from here. This is the validation mechanism. Paste. And now, every time a user goes in to vote for candidates, and suppose that this user is trying or wants to click for a rating or submit comments, the validation mechanism will compare two values: the token, the field, the token that is generated in the form, and with the token that has been generated when the user has logged in. If they are equal, then the form or the request is accepted. If not, and that's the case when the request is generated externally by a malicious attacks, it's going to say CSRF token verify failed. This is the first approach how to protect a site from CSRF attacks. So in a practical scenario, you need to insert the CSRF token in the function, login function in your site, in every form you have as a hidden value, and in every function that handles post requests, like this function over here. I hope this is clear for you. Okay, now let's move on to the other way of protecting from CSRF attacks, which is the double submit cookie. Okay, so let me save this. And now I'm going to go back and suppose that now I protected all of the profiles from being manipulated by fake reviews or fake ratings. Now I need to protect the integrity of the votes. So I need to make sure that no other unintended request is made externally to vote on someone's behalf. Okay, so I need to protect this function over here. So what I need to do is to search for the vote function and to search for the poll page. So here we have the poll. Okay. So here I have the vote function. Okay. And as you can see, the poll functions revolves around get request. So it gets the user's request or the user's vote, and it sends that vote to the poll, to the voting system in order to calculate the votes. So I have to insert here double submit cookie. The other place is the poll.html. Or no, I need to let's generate the cookie first. I need to generate double submit cookie over here. Okay, let's take this and we go to user.php over here. Let's click those, click X, save. Okay, so here again at the login, I need to generate randomly generated cookie, which is very different from the session identifier. It's another additional layer of security. So I'm not talking about the cookie that the browser uses in order to save your login. I'm talking about differently randomly generated value, cryptography generated value, which is the the double submit cookie. So here I instruct the browser or the web server to generate a cookie, randomly generated cookie, cryptographic generated cookie, okay? Every time user logs in, okay? That's first. Click X, save. Okay, so the next place is to go to the form. I need to go to the form. I think in the poll HTML, there is a form over here. Doesn't click. Let's refresh the page. Okay, so views, poll. Okay, so here I need, this is the poll HTML web page, which is this page over here. I need to protect the vote as well. So I need to go to form. So I have form over here to get the votes. I need to insert the hidden value of the double submit cookie over here. Okay, so now I have randomly generated cookie at every login, and I have this randomly generated cookie at every form I am trying to protect. Of course, you're not going to apply the CSRF tokens and double submit cookie together. We're going to choose one of them and apply them to forms and the login function, okay? So here I have it in the form and I have it in the login screen. There is one thing left, which is the validation mechanism. So the validation mechanism takes place at the function, which is poll.php over here. Poll.php over here, I need to look for the function that has the get request every time users click on vote. So here's the vote function. Let's put a validation mechanism over here so that where's the get request? Here's the get request. Here is the time, or here's the place where the user clicks on vote and the server takes his vote and sends it. So I need to, before taking the vote, I need to make sure that the randomly generated cookie at the very first of the session is equal to the cookie, okay, that is hidden in the field of the vote, okay? And if they are equal, okay, now I can consider this vote, or if they are not, then we're gonna say CSRF token verify failed, okay? That's the second approach of protecting from CSRF attacks. I prefer the second one, which is double submit cookie, as it is very hard for attackers to guess these randomly and cryptographically generated values. Okay, so click on save and you're all set. That's how you do it from the back end. I know protecting from CSRF attacks, for some people, it's kind of theoretical knowledge. Yes, insert cookies, insert tokens, but how to do that practically, some people, I mean, just keep asking how to do that practically on the back end. So, of course, you can go to OWASP and use yes, the cheat sheet over here contains all of the info you need about how to protect and defend against CSRF attacks. So we used same site not. We used the double submit cookie, and we use the CSRF tokens. You can use many other ways. You can use same site cookie attribute. I also note that if you are using Django or Ruby framework, Ruby on Rails, and Django use automatic, okay, and built-in CSRF security measures, so you don't need to bother around these mechanisms over here. If you are using Django or Ruby on Rails, if you're using PHP, then you need to implement these kind of protections. I hope this lesson is clear, and if you have many questions, you can ask your questions in the comment section, and I hope you find this helpful. See you in the next video.